Chapter 7. Choosing your surrogacy agency. To find a surrogate, you either go independently, which means through online groups, the majority of which are on Facebook, a family member or a friend, or you go through a surrogacy agency. I worked with an agency because I wanted experienced professionals to be able to help me to navigate the steps in the surrogacy process. This was important to me given that my surrogate and I would be separated by thousands of miles and an 8-hour time difference. However, I also wanted someone to provide my surrogate and her family with all the support they would need during our pregnancy. The agency has multiple roles, which includes finding the surrogate and performing all the non-medical parts in the process until after your baby is born. Surrogates must be mothers to their own children already with an uncomplicated pregnancy. The agency will provide the clinic with all the medical, pregnancy, and birth records, which ensures that she is in optimal condition to proceed with the surrogacy. I was glad that I chose an agency, as it lifted a weight from my shoulders around the decisions that could seem overwhelming. The unknown of what I was doing was a lot. Now that I know more, aside from reputation, my top 5 criteria for agency selection are: Number 1. Matching time to find a surrogate. The time frame to be matched with a surrogate should be one of the first filters in deciding which agencies to talk to. There will always be more people looking for surrogates than surrogates available, and within agencies there is a big difference in waiting times. If time to match is of importance, then you can work with an agency that will have surrogates with a higher base compensation than other options available. So time frame directly correlates to costs involved within the process. Number 2, costs. Make sure that you have a clear and comprehensive picture from the agency on all the expenses related to the journey and when payments are due. They can't give you a fixed price due to variables outside of the agency's control, meaning the price could increase. My agency gave me an estimated budget for the entire process of around $200,000 US, which enabled me to budget accordingly. For example, they broke their fee of $28,000 into 3 parts, which were paid upon signing the agency contract, upon matching with a surrogate, and the final installment when the surrogate was medically cleared. This helped me to spread out the total amount into bite-sized chunks. As explained in episode 6, you will need an escrow account into which the whole amount must be deposited before your surrogate gets pregnant. Number 3. Do you want twins or a single baby? 12 years ago, due to lower success rates, agencies were happy for surrogates to carry twins, as clinics would transfer 2 embryos with the aim of getting to 1 baby. Since I always dreamed of having 2 children, and I couldn't afford to do this more than once, I opted for twins. Nowadays, agencies will aim to avoid twins and will suggest 1 surrogate per embryo transfer, which makes sense, as I didn't realize the more babies a surrogate is carrying in one pregnancy, the higher the risk. Number 4. How much of the process can the agency do? Some smaller agencies will only match you with a surrogate, while some larger agencies can offer you additional services. Always looking at ways to provide peace of mind, I chose an agency that provided additional services such as travel logistics, payments, and psychological evaluations, all to minimize the amount of people involved and to make it easier and smoother. Number 5. What are the agency's thoughts on termination? Another reason I felt comfortable with my agency was that they included surrogates that were open to the option of termination. This for me was very important, as I did not want my surrogate to be in a situation where her health was at risk. Keep in mind, there are agencies that do not support termination. 4 questions to ask. Number 1, do you want to use an agency or to go independently? Number 2, is waiting time of importance to you? Number 3, have you compared the costs between agencies? Number 4, have you discussed termination? If you enjoyed this episode and would like to learn more about IVF and surrogacy, then please subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. Also, please share and follow our social media handle at IVF Daddies. We are here to answer any questions and to guide you through this very personal process.